Be ready. 5 seconds. Start. For this purpose, sir, I introduced in this House an amendment to the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1954. This act was passed 45 years ago by Parliament. The experience of its administration, I must admit, sir, has not been very impressive so far, both because the act itself had loopholes and also, I must admit, because our administrative machinery, particularly in the states, was not really as effective as it should be. Therefore, we have redefined primary food and we have now, for the first time, introduced a graded system of punishment, a graded system of penalties. On the one hand, we have exempted altogether as a result of a lot of evidence that was brought before us primary food which is substandard due to purely natural causes in which there is no human agency and which is primary food, in other words, which is easily visible. In such cases, there is no penalty and it has been taken out of the act. A piece of legislation such as this, which is a social economic legislation, obviously is to be preceded by public opinion. I understand that it is only the pressure of the public opinion which has compelled the government to proceed in the right direction, and they have rightly done. But it is the continuous pressure of public opinion which will make the government find out what are the effective ways and provisions in the legislation. As I said, I was going to view this piece of legislation from a philosophical angle. I feel that today ours is not only an atomic age, this is also an age of indifference. Coupled with that, we now see that it is the age of adulteration, pollution, an age of abject pollution. We find that citizens, even when their interests are concerned, are not interested in trying to eradicate those dangers or defects. Before bringing in this legislation, an exercise was made in my ministry to see whether the existing legislation could be suitably modified to deal with this problem. Though there are certain provisions in the Factories Act, Criminal Procedure Code, and Smoke Nuisance Act, they have been found to be inadequate. The state government will first declare the air pollution control areas. In such areas, industries specified in the schedule to the bill will have to obtain consents from the respective state boards for discharging emissions for their factories. The state boards will lay down the specifications for emission discharge and the particulars of the control equipment that should be put up to abate air pollution. Adulteration is no doubt a serious crime. It should be out to a stop by the government under these special circumstances under the present government. I would like to ask the Honorable Minister to advise the governors in the states to implement the provisions of this bill very strictly and to punish adulterators in rice and in many essential commodities. Even in drugs, there is adulteration. The provision of giving a sample to the person concerned is a safeguard against manipulation and misuse by the food inspector and persons connected with his department. This salutary safeguard is sought to be taken away by amending the provisions of this act. Therefore, it should be restored because the government's intention is to prevent harassment of the honest traders. After taking oath as the Prime Minister of Free India, Jawaharlal Nehru never forget to mention something about the children of India whenever he spoke, whether on the occasion of Republic Day, Independence Day, or any other occasion. He thought that the country could have been built much more constructively if the children had been given sufficient care and they had been made to feel that they were partners in all our work. When a child grows into a young man, he talks of sports and games. Look at the budget allocation for sports and games, which would help the development of the mental and physical potential of the young of our country. It is a small amount in comparison to what they spend in Middle Eastern countries in a country having 100 crores of people. I would like to take up some common points which have been stressed by a very large number of my honorable friends here. The first point that he has been stressed by a very large number of members deals with the question of the care of expectant mothers and the care and particularly the nutritional care of smaller children up to the age of 6. The All India Institute of Medical Sciences in New Delhi is coordinating the work that is being done by the medical colleges for preparing the baseline data about nutrition, about the general health of children and of expectant mothers and so on. It would also be supervising the implementation of the scheme in other respects so that along with the administrative setup which is looking after this program, there is also an independent organization which can monitor and which can provide expert guidance for the implementation of this particular program.